Hi, my name is Art. I teach Python, and in this video I'm going to show you how you could write data in into text file. So we're going to be using Python and we'll write some data into text file. All right. So how we're going to do it? So remember there are Python built-in functions. And the function I'm talking about right now is function open. Now let me remind you, if you don't remember how to use any function, in Python you could always do help, 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 help. And let's take a look what they're saying. So you need to provide a file name or a path for a file, then there is mode. And if you scroll down a little bit, you see all the major modes. So default mode is R for reading file. Then there is W, and W means write. And then there is append. All right, so these three major modes for writing or reading data from a text file. All right, so let me show you what it does. Now, also I want to remind you that computers got two types of memory, short-term memory and long-term memory. In short-term memory, this is where Python lives. And long-term memory, this is where you store your files and all other data like in the form of a database. Now, keep in mind that you won't be communicating to the file back and forth, but rather function open will create a Python object that you're going to be manipulating, and finally you'll save that. You'll see in a second what exactly do I mean by that. So open, all right, and then I'm going to come up with some kind of name, variable name. Okay, so here I'm going to use file. That's just a variable name, open. Then I'm going to come up with some kind of file name. I know my file .txt, so extension. Now, since we're planning to write data into a file, I need to switch that default mode that you see here is R to W, to W, right? By the way, if you're using Windows, you might be required to place this little R here, So that's a Windows thing. So for Mac, and I'm using Mac here, you don't need that stuff. All right, so if I run this right now, and if I want to see what file is, you see function open always returns an object. So pretty much they're telling you that now they have this object sitting in Python memory. However, since we use this W, it also created a brand new file, text file. Where do you find this file? You find this file exactly in the same folder where you're using this Python file. So in my case, I have created a special folder, and then I have untitled that my Python file, and this is my file txt. If you click here, it's empty. It is empty. Why? Because function open always returns an object and creates a file. By the way, keep in mind that if you rerun this line of code again, this W will kill existing file and will create a new one. So this W is a little bit tricky. For example, if you already have some data stored in this file, so then W will delete this file and will create a new one. All right. Now here I'm gonna do phrase, and phrase is gonna be like hello, something like hello. All right, and then I'm gonna do phrase 2, and that's gonna be like give me a call next Monday. All right, so suppose I want to take these two phrases and write them into that file. But let's go step by step. So first of all, you do file. If you're not sure how to write data into a file, you remember dir. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please check my previous videos. And here in dir, if you scroll down, and if you scroll down and down and down and down and down, then you see there is method write. There is method write. All right. So what this method does, it will take some string, because again, keep in mind the text file is just a string, and we'll write that data right into that file. So I'm going to do phrase. All right. And then I'm going to do file, and then there is another one called close. So what close will do, after you manipulate this object close, will make sure that the file is actually stored and the data is actually written into the file. Sometimes it might work without close, but close would be a proper way of doing things. All right, so if I run the cell again, if I get back to this file and I refresh this file, you see I'm getting this hello. Okay, now if I go back and do phrase 2 and run this again, and then I get back to this file, refresh this, I'm getting give me a call next Monday. Oh, I misspelled next, but that's okay. So but the point I'm trying to make, you see we lost hello. Why? Because that W in mode will delete that file and will create a new one again. All right, so that's the point I'm trying to make. All right, so here's going to be next. Now what you should do if you want to do two of them, so then you could switch this A to this W to A. A stands for append. And now if you run this again and rerun this again and rerun this and rerun this couple of times, let's go back here, refresh this, you see I'm getting give me a call next Monday, give me a call next Monday. So you see what it does, it actually updates this with the same information. Obviously you could update it with the new information, but the point I'm trying to make, update, append, and write W and A, two different things. So if you use W, just write data into a text file, and you might lose data if you already have that data in that file. But append will just append, and you see what it does, it just appends it as a string. Now suppose you want to make it nice, so then what you could do the /n. /n means new line plus phrase, and if you run it again and again and again, so now every next Monday, give me a call next Monday, will be a new line. All right, so the point I'm trying to make, it depends what you want to do. If you just want to write data into a text file, then you go with W. If you just want to append new data to a text file, then you go with A, append. And the /n means new line, so every time you do something, you append something, some kind of string, so then that will be appended on a new line. Watch my videos and I'm going to show you how you could fetch data from a text file and how you could read data from a text file.